Yo, what's going on YouTube? I'm back with another episode of Rap with Stacks. This is your host, Ken3Stacks. Appreciate y'all for tuning in on your tablet, your phone, your TV, whatever you're watching me on. Appreciate you for tuning in. Now, while you're on there, do not forget to hit that subscribe button so you know what I'm posting. Go ahead, drop a comment down below based on what we talk about in this video. And then once you're watching the video, go ahead and throw a like on that bad baby. I know you want to, so go ahead and do it. Appreciate it. Just gonna go ahead and get started with it now. So y'all see the title. We're talking about the Brooklyn Nets now that they have their big three: James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, all on the same team. That's an automatic championship, right? I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong. So getting into this, there's two reasons why I love the move. I really think that makes them a really competitive team. I think it pretty much guarantees them a trip to the finals. It's very close to guaranteeing a trip to the finals at least. But here's why I still don't think it gets them over the hump. Main reason is chemistry. The second main reason is defense. We're going to start off with the chemistry on court and off court, because it's not just Kyrie off court chemistry that I'm talking about here. That's what everybody's focusing on. Is he a headache? Is he a distraction? Is he pulling the team down? Forget all that. Can they even play together on the court if he's not doing all that? Because you got to think, these three guys have a lot of touches. Specifically, Harden and Kyrie have the ball in their hands so much. I mean, like, anytime that they, before up to this season, like, getting the ball, you know they're going to have the ball for at least 6 seconds out the shot clock. They're going to have the ball for the longest. Whenever they get their touches and their scores, most of the time, I would say they hold the ball for a majority of the shot clock. Not a huge problem when you're on the team by yourself, but when you got 3 stars and there's not a lot of basketball to go around, I just don't know if that's going to work, mainly because I also feel like those guys are volume scorers. So if they don't get those touches that they're used to, if they don't get those attempts that they're used to, I think those numbers may come down a little bit. KD, I feel like, he's done his thing. He's proven it. I feel like he's the premier out of the group. But I feel like with those two, I'm not 100% convinced with less touches they can be efficient and do what they need to do. And I also don't know if they're going to be cool with it. You got to think. I don't think Kyrie's the type of dude to be like, nah, I'm cool, coach. Matter of fact, he said he don't even have a coach this year. So it's up to him. If you ask him, he's gonna be like, nah, I want my touches. James, because you got to think, tonight is only 1 game sample. This is their first game together. He took 28 shots, the most on the team. Kevin Durant took 25, but James Harden only took 14 shots. So when you look at it like that, who gonna give up the rock? Because I don't see none of them dudes being the type of dude to be like, nah, man, you got it. I don't need my touch. No, that's not how they play. That's not how they doing it. So I really don't know how that's gonna work on court chemistry wise. Mainly just because they need a lot of touches on offense, and that also plays into the defensive thing. But that's just mainly on their strong suit. I don't know if their games are going to be able to fit together and make it work enough to win a championship. Can they beat somebody and can they just win some games? Can they win some playoff series? Of course, they got the talent to do a lot of that. But when it comes down to winning a championship, I just don't know if they have the on-court chemistry to make that happen. We're going to have to watch it and see. On top of that, we got off-court chemistry. I love the move by the Nets to get Harden, mainly because Kyrie was out here wilding. So now they like, you know what, Kyrie, you can wild out if you want to. If you're doing all that tripping, we're good. James Harden is our security blanket. We got James Harden and KD. We know with them two by themselves is probably a trip to the finals anyway. Kyrie's probably the piece they need to take them over the top and make them a real championship winner contender. But I feel like whether Kyrie plays or not, whether he's doing his own thing, it don't matter. The Nets, they're solid now, and they have the leverage to say, you know what, we don't need you, Kyrie. You can start tripping all you want to, but we can ship you off and open up a max contract worth of room on our roster. So I feel like that's also either going to make Kyrie play ball and come back to his senses and actually be here to play basketball, or B, he gonna keep wilding out, but it don't matter because you got a championship contender without him. You can move him and open up that roster space. So I like the move for those reasons, but off the court issues, you just got to work on it, because especially once the heat and the pressure come up, you gotta match up against some teams that are throwing some real wrinkles at you. I feel like, and especially with not getting those touches that you're looking for. Let's say you lose some game, you're frustrated with your role, might cause some of those off-court issues to flare up. So just kind of something to keep your eye on, just something I'm afraid of. Also combine that with the fact of defense. None of these dudes is really guarding up like that. KD's, he straight in some off-ball defense. He can play some off-ball defense. He's gotten better. On-ball defense, he never really was that great. Coming off an Achilles tear, doesn't help that at all. So I really don't think he matches up with the best of that position, being able to lock him up type of defender. James Harden, do I even need to say more? I mean, the guy just started playing defense. I definitely do commend him. He does play some defense now. I feel like it's too late in your career when you're about 10 years in and you're just now starting to play defense. I know you're not locking anybody up. It's just not going to happen, period. You can play some defense, but guys who are like that don't lock up guys. So that's just period. And Kyrie's just a little bit undersized. Got some nice defensive instincts. Not a defensive first type of player. Average defensive player. A little bit undersized. So that's a problem. And you got DeAndre Jordan trying to protect the rim. Not the fastest. Past his prime. Lost a little bit of athleticism. And it's a problem. You got to think about just coming out the East, who's going to guard Giannis. You can put KD on Giannis. He don't really have the weight to guard Giannis consistently. Giannis is gonna be able to get to the paint, but you can do it and see how it works. But you got to guard him. You got to figure out who's gonna guard AD. You got to figure out who's gonna guard Bam Adebayo. It's just a lot of matchup issues that I'm not sure if basically you're putting a lot of pressure on your offense. You're gonna have to make sure that night in and night out your offense is willing to outscore a team. Because defensively, you're going to be giving up a lot of points. And when it comes down to the NBA Finals, the Eastern Conference Finals, things like that, I feel like that's what's going to lose you games. The Lakers can play defense. We know this. AD can play defense. LeBron can play defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, Trez, these dudes, they defensive players. You know what I'm saying? They're not, locking. And LeBron and AD, I say, are premier defensive players. As we get to see some of the other guys on the team in their roles, we'll start to see how they can lock up, but we at least know they got guys that can play defense and get some stops, at least when need be. I don't know if Brooklyn has that, and it's really putting a lot of pressure on the offense, and when you combine that with their on-court chemistry, the off-court chemistry, that's a lot to ask for in year one to go out there and dethrone the king out there out west and win a championship. So because of that, high expectations for Brooklyn. Championship or bust expectations, what I say. I think it's a bust type of year, though. I predict them to make it to the finals, probably lose in the finals due to some of those either imploding or defensive issues that they're going to run into. I wouldn't be surprised if they just came up a little bit shorter than that. Wouldn't be surprised they won the whole thing, but what I think is going to happen, they make it to the finals, and I think the Lake Show still take them down. Just too much experience, too much firepower, and combine that with defensive ability, and I think it's going to be tough for Brooklyn to win it. So they definitely got a chance. That's just my take on it. So you go in the comments. Let me know down below. Is Brooklyn the best team in the NBA? Are they going to win the finals? Can they even hold this roster together for another year? Or is it Kyrie going to implode himself? He's going to be there. So those are just all the things, all the questions that everybody's asking. I just want to know your opinion on it. I think Kyrie might actually be there now because Harden is going to make him show up, or Brooklyn can get rid of him now. But tell me what you think. Is it going to work? Is it going to work beyond just this year? Are they going to ever win a championship? Is it bust? I just told you what I think. Drop your comments down below and rap with Stacks and let me know what you're thinking. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm going to just keep it short like that. Peace.